There we go. It wouldn't go off the screen. Okay, all you can see is the part that I've already shown you. We're gonna leave that box right where it is. And the doors are open, the temperatures are up. So Colleen and Karen, I hope you have amazing temperatures going on right now. I'm really gonna turn the heat off and the fan. And I might not be able to stay on long because the doors are open, because we're open, but you've gotta see this. All right, let me do this. Welcome back to Two Girls Treasure. I am Diane Pruitt, your proprietor and your happy hostess this morning. So if you were here for part one of Coffee and Create this morning, I had to jump off because I had to open the doors because it was right after 10 o'clock and we open at 10. But let me show you the sunflower jar. I'm going to solo this camera. I'm gonna bring you in pretty tight and I'm gonna show you the layers of color over this jar. Look how beautiful those sunflowers are now. Vibrant, bright. I might want to richen up that blue sky, but I'm in love with it. I'm in love with this finish and this jar and my fairy lights. You can see the sunflowers on the inside. It does have a very dark, rich blue around it. So I may want to take this lighter blue and richen it with some farmhouse navy, which is just absolutely possible. This sunflower right here, that is perfectly yummy. And look at that frame. Layered up, not quite finished with the layering, letting it dry. But before I got too far away from you, I wanted to get back to this gem right here. This is simply beautiful. I love the way this looks. Let's swap out fairy lights and jars again. You know, I have the box of fairy lights right in front of me. So, beautiful, beautiful interior. Look at the framework. Gonna add some copper accents to it. Probably gonna add some gold to it. But I wanted to share this with you because now we really are at the big finish. And this is absolutely something you can do. And there's no right or wrong. Lay those colors in, make it a peaceful time where there's no distraction, no stress. The Chinese balloons can just fly right over and the F-27s can just shoot them down. And I'm gonna be right here dolling up my birds and my frames. I'm just putting a little bit of the paint on. I'm gonna move my lid so I can get you in here. I've got so many paint containers open right now. But all I'm doing is putting a little bit of my copper. I'm gonna grab some gold. I'm gonna take my finger. We're finger painting these. And I'm just gonna blend it with my finger. You can dry brush these too. Let me grab a brush and I'll show you. Just take literally a dry brush. But what I find when I do that is it moves too much of what I've got on there. So I just put a little daub on and move it with my finger. I'm probably also going to use some soft white glaze on this one. The sunflowers, I am absolutely going to use a combination of classic black glaze and antique brown, because there's so much texture and dimension on these jars now. Glazing them is an absolute must. Gilding them with copper and gold is too. This is a project where you just make yourself happy. And I like the more is more. Since we layered so many decoupage tissues, I really feel like the more is more applies here. I'm just gonna gild the wings and outline this beautiful bird. Now I think I'm just gonna end up with gold cascading all over her. Some pearl would be amazing on here too. This would look superb even with silver highlights. But just a little bit of that gold really brought out the detail in the mold set. And remember, I decoupage tissue over the top of these to protect that image. Now, if you're not using the IOD clay, you might want to do the same. I think with the IOD clay, I would have been just fine, but I was trying to learn and understand and follow the lead of our inspiration. So I didn't want to stray too far from what I was learning in the video from Oksana at Garden with Fairies DIY. Now we've got a nice breeze. I've got the music on, the doors are open, and the beepers are going off. Something's dancing in front of that sensor, but it's okay. And I can't stay on long because I do have to work the store this morning. But this was just such an obsessive project. So much fun and so many facets that I didn't want to let this day go by without sharing where I am in the finish. And I am definitely going to put pearl over this. Some soft white glaze on this one, maybe a little bit of black glaze, but I doubt it. I love the copper finish, and I absolutely love the gilding. I've got a phone call coming in. I just had to share that finish project with you. Follow the tutorials over the last couple of weeks, and if you're not sure, go to our YouTube. We're 3 weeks into these because I could only work on them during Coffee and Create. We have a lot going on here in the store, but Garden with Fairies DIY, and there is a project on there. Of course, Oksana's is just a little bit different than mine. Mine's a little bit different than hers, but I did take my inspiration from her, and this is what I gathered from learning from another artist completely on the other side of the world. I hope you find some inspiration in what we do here on Coffee and Create, and I hope you are able to create some fairy jars for yourself and for your friends and family. I'm Diane at Two Girls Treasure. Thank you so much for joining us for Coffee and Create Part 2. Have a wonderful day.